All right, so today on the Felix Black Show, I am talking about Ashley, the inmate hopper. Let's get into the video. Welcome to the Felix Black Show podcast here on YouTube, also streaming on the Spreaker app. If you like your podcast with just audio, make sure you check out the Felix Black Show podcast on the Spreaker app. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on all of those. Check out all the greatest content from me, Felix Black, and make sure you catch the Felix Black Show when it releases on YouTube and Spreaker. Subscribe to the channel. So today, I'm in my usual space, my rabbit holes of TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And y'all know I do relationship talk here on the channel. So I come across someone called Ashley, the inmate hopper. Ashley, the inmate hopper. Okay. Basically, it's this woman who was involved with an inmate, planned on marrying him once he got released. I haven't done the full investigation from like beginning to end. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just came across her in some of her videos, and she was talking about how she looks for inmates to be with, to get married to. So it's an application where men can meet women inmates and women can meet men inmates. So we're not just talking about women doing this. We're talking about men as well. So I got to thinking, I'm single. I pretty much have my life together, right? Nobody's perfect. We all have our habits. We're set in some of our ways, right? So here it is. This one woman, I'm going to make an example out of her just because, I looked at her content, but there's more people out there. This is not just her. I want to speak in the totality. There are actual people on applications looking for inmates. Now, we talk about dating. We talk about relationships, whether, men are supposed to be leaders, whether women are supposed to be the supporters, the leaders, men, whether they're stay-at-home dads or they go out into the workforce. I have never once thought, will think, or think it's okay to search for an inmate. A person convicted of committing a crime is behind bars and is able to find a spouse before Felix Black finds one. I find that to be amazing that people actually do that. So I wanted to throw questions out there for the listeners, the viewers out there, as far as why. Like, why do we think that? I have a couple of theories as to why a man or a woman who is free wants to be involved with an inmate, a person currently serving time, and why you would sign up on an application to talk to someone that is behind bars. Is it insecurity? Is it a lack of self-esteem, self-confidence? Do they feel, this is my theory. I'm not going to ask that question. I'm going to say my theory. I feel that there's a level of insecurity and there's a level of low confidence there. And so rightfully so, wrongfully so, the people in jail are thought to be some of the worst in society because they committed crimes, right? I don't mean that their character is necessarily the worst in society, but when we look at tiers of people, those behind bars are pretty low on that scale just because they committed a crime. I understand there are people too. I'm saying on the tier of people, relax, okay? You have the high value man, the high value woman. You have the working man, the working woman. You have the non-employed man, the non-employed woman. Then you have an inmate. I would think in the dating landscape, someone behind bars would be your last option. I'm not talking about you were in a relationship with someone and they went to jail. It's on you. It's your decision, depending on what they went to jail for, whether you want to support them or not, whether, you want to continue to wait for them. I'm not talking about that. I'm not. So don't come and say I was married for umpteenth years and, my spouse went to jail and I held them down. I'm not talking about that. I don't necessarily see a problem with that. Again, depending on what they went to jail for. I'm saying I'm a single guy. I'm actively seeking a woman in prison to be in a relationship with. For me to wait on her to get out of jail so I can marry her. Are the options for dating that low? Are the options for dating that low to where you have to find someone who is confined to a cell for 8, 12, 24 hours a day, 23 hours a day with some rec time? You have to resort to finding someone in jail, in lockdown, that cannot leave for a relationship. Where does your mind have to be mentally? I understand you may be a person that likes to take care of other people. There are single people who are free, who you can take care of. You cannot tell me that all of the options in your city, in your surrounding city, in your state, that the only place you can find love is in a prison. A prison. You're actively seeking that. So me talking as a high value man, I'm arrogant. I'm an ass. I don't deserve a woman because I'm an arrogant asshole. Okay. But the guy who committed a crime, let's just say armed robbery. We're not even going to go to the extreme. Let's just say armed robbery, breaking and entering. He deserves a woman. Why? Because he doesn't value himself, because he doesn't outwardly speak about what he wants, what he's looking for. Tell me what differentiates him deserving someone versus me, versus the high value man out here in society who has the discipline to go to work every day, who has the discipline to take care of finances, who has the love and affection of family and friends and would do anything to take care of them. I'll wait. I want to hear, please. This is going to be one of my more interactive podcast episodes, because I need someone who is, been involved in a relationship with someone that they met while that person was in prison. I want to make sure I'm specific when I say that, because if I roast you in the comments because you say, your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend went to jail while y'all were together, I'm just going to roast you because I'm not talking about that situation. We can talk about that situation, but I'm not, because Ashley, the inmate hopper, seeks out men who are in prison. And she's not the only one. She holds parties for her friends who are seeking men in prison. She comes across other women that are doing the same thing. And this is nothing that's new. So it didn't just start happening this year. This has been an ongoing thing. They said when Ted Bundy was in prison, he got a lot of fan mail. And I can't even get a text back. That's amazing that someone who's in prison can get a letter. I can't even get a text back. Do I have to do something like that in order to find someone? I think it's a matter of insecurity. It's a matter of low self-esteem. This is both in men and women, that you would have to seek someone in prison who cannot leave, cannot take a shower without someone's okay, that you deem that they will be okay to start a relationship with, and make plans to marry without even meeting. I can't fathom that idea that someone would do something like that. There's 7 billion people walking this planet. Let's cut that in half. 3.5 billion people. Let's just say 1 million of those people are in prison. That's still 2.5 million people walking around. Let's just say another million are in relationships. That's still another 1.5 million people walking around. If you cannot, if you cannot find someone in 1.5 million people, what's to say that it's the dating pool? Maybe you need to adjust what you're thinking about and what you're seeking. It's not hard. I said it earlier, I can't get a text back. This person in prison can find, love before I do. Let's not get it confused. I can. So I don't want people to be, well, you're saying that you can't find anyone, so it must be you. No, it's not me. It's not me. I have offers. I have people that are interested for sure. Definitely. And, they're wonderful women. Absolutely. But I'm just wondering about what makes someone go to the prison system to find love. I mean, I think there was a TV show called like Prison Lockup or Love in Lockup or something like that. I mean, for some reason, I remember that being couples who were together and then someone went to jail. If it wasn't like that, then why are we glorifying that? Like, why are we glorifying the fact that people look to the prison system for someone to be with? Are you looking for that person because they need somebody, they need attention? You figure that person is broken and then you can fix them. You figure that person can't cheat on you because they're in prison and can't get out to see other people. What is the thought process as to why you would choose that? Because you can say people in prison are people too. Absolutely. I agree with that. They are people too. But the fact that people have committed some violent crimes and you're still seeking to talk to them, to get to know them, to be with them. It's one thing if you're being a pen pal. It's one thing if you're doing a study like Mindhunter. That's one thing. But if you're serial dating inmates with the hopes of finding a wife, a husband, I have a problem with that. That's where we start to get into a little bit of gray area. Well, it's not really gray. To me, that's not correct. That's not right. You can't convince me that you can't find anybody at any festival, at any concert, walking in the grocery store, what else? Any sporting event, any girls' night, guys' night out, any trips out of country to other countries. Nobody? Like, you found nobody attractive, nobody whose personality fits yours, nobody who piques your interest enough. Only people behind bars. Is it the bad boy, bad girl syndrome that people behind bars present a level of excitement? I don't know. I don't know. I just think that you're so insecure. Your confidence is so low that you don't think a person in prison would ever cheat on you. They would always appreciate you for what you are doing, putting money on their books, keeping them company, that you would gain their loyalty through those services. But yet, when we talk about men and women, if I say, pay for your dinner on the first date, I'm a bum. But you can put money on somebody's books for commissary that committed a crime. You can give them the support, the nurturing that us men who are out here seek and ask for. But when we ask for that, we're told, oh, well, I'm not your mother. I'm not your slave. I'm not your I don't know, your employee. So you can do it. Of course, we know women can do that. You just choose who and when you want to provide that type of support to. You would not help a man who is down on his luck, doesn't have any money. You wouldn't help build him up. I already made a video about that. Made a TikTok about it too, asking women would they do that. Most of them said they've done it before, they wouldn't do it again. Okay, so you wouldn't do it again. But there are women like Ashley who are serial dating inmates with the hopes of finding one. So you're willing to build multiple men up in that situation. And so that's where the confusion for me comes in, because there's a lot of guys out here with hopes and dreams, and women. Let me not just single out the women out here that's looking for inmate men, because there are men looking for inmate women. Why? I have no idea. Because there are both sexes out here that are deserving of your energy, of your time, of your inspiration, of your motivation. You just have to find the right person to put that energy into. Is that person behind bars right now? They're being rehabilitated. They're in the process. That's what prison is supposed to be used for, rehabilitation. How can I rehabilitate myself personally and pour into you and invest in you for a relationship at the same time? Maybe me being convicted of armed robbery was a one-time thing. It'll never happen again. No recidivism, right? Maybe. If I've been to prison multiple times, apparently the rehabilitation is not working. Why can't you just wait until that person gets out of prison? Maybe my issue is the person is actively in prison, is actively there. And so when I think of prison, I don't think of finding love. I don't think of having an initial contact with, hey, how you doing? My name is Felix. I'm an inmate at Texas State Correctional Facility. And you're like, oh, okay. Oh, what'd you do? What are you in there for? Oh, breaking and entering. Oh, okay. Well, my name is Ashley and I'm single. I have a daughter. Like, that's how that conversation goes. I've had worse conversations with people who live right down the street. So that's why I get on here and I talk about relationships and dating. It's a different thing between being a fan. Okay, you're a fan because you have some different obsession with somebody, versus trying to find that person, marry them, start a relationship with them, be with them. I mean, I don't get that. And I don't understand why we have men and women out here. I don't want to say struggling, but just working regular every single day. They're not rich. They're not struggling. They just do what they need to do to take care of themselves. And they can't find anyone. They don't have anyone looking to invest into them. But we have a slew of men and women looking to our prison system for love. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't see it as being anything that you can convince me of that is okay to do, especially when the singles out here, they're plentiful. They are. You just have to find the right one. You just have to come up with your criteria. You have to listen to the Felix Black Show and listen to my advice in order to, nab you one. Yeah, I don't have to be married for 60 years to give pointers. Let's do away with that. Right? Well, how can you give pointers if you're single? Because I've been through it. and single by choice. It's not because the desert is dry. I've reached a certain level where you have to meet me at the top. That's not to say that there's not offers there, but we're not at that phase of where we just accept any offer. We're elevating. And so if you can't elevate with me, I'm not interested. That's the difference. Never, I'm saying it now and it's in recording, never will Felix Black resort to the prison system to find love. This has been the Felix Black Show. Y'all have to let me know what's going on. I'll see you in the next one.